So, in our ongoing look at sports science, we've talked about a bunch of different things. We've talked about the human energy systems. We've talked about VO2 max. We've talked about lactate or anaerobic threshold. This week, I'd like to talk about something that's a little bit different. Um, in my opinion, it still falls under the umbrella of sports science. When I was on the Canadian national canoe kayak team, it was covered under the sports science budget, but it's not looking at human physiology like those other areas are. This is looking at what's going on between a competitor's ears when they're competing. It's about the mental approach to athletic performance, and I'm talking about sports psychology. Um, I prefer to actually think of a sports psychologist as being a mental performance specialist or mental performance coach. These people work with professional sports teams to make sure that athletes are optimally prepared to be the best that they can be in games, especially important games. They work with Olympic teams and national teams in various sports to ensure that athletes are at their very, very best, literally firing on all cylinders, maximizing what their physical abilities can do for them on race day when it matters most. Um, but why shouldn't they be working for athletes and be there to help athletes at all levels of competition? Because it makes a big difference. When I was competing in canoeing, my dream was to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal. And, for 8 years, I was working towards that. And I really approached it as, I should leave no stone left unturned in my approach to trying to achieve my dream. So obviously, I worked on my physical abilities. Obviously, I worked on, my strength, my aerobic ability, and obviously, I worked on my technique. And if you've worked with me before, you've heard me talk about those three things as the three pillars of performance: strength, aerobic ability, and technique. But truthfully, there's that fourth pillar as well. It's the mental approach to what you're doing, optimizing your ability to focus, to concentrate, to minimize distractions, to refocus if something happens during your event that causes you to lose your focus momentarily. Think of any sports event that game, professional sports game that we might watch. Um, and something happens. The quarterback throws an interception. Uh, the a player makes a mistake, which happens in these games, and it really makes a difference in the momentum in the game. The momentum totally shifts. Um, Players need to be able to absorb that change in momentum and not let it shatter their concentration or their confidence or their focus, and really bear down, maintain their focus, and overcome these types of things. And similar things can happen in races for paddlers. You can fall off your board. You've got to get back on and refocus and and continue in the race and not let that bother you, not let that throw you off your race, not let that defeat you. And so these are the types of things that mental performance coaches can really help with. They give you tools, they give you plans, they give you drills that you can do. They work with you to help you prepare yourself to make your ability to focus, to concentrate, to refocus more robust, so that you can deal with these types of crises when you're racing and competing and not let them shatter you. You can be stronger than them, so that um, you can truly rise to the occasion when it matters most, despite whatever setbacks beyond your control may happen in an event. It's all about learning to um, focus on what you can control and doing it perfectly, and um, and not concerning yourself with things beyond your control, but being prepared to overcome things that might happen to you due to these circumstances beyond your control, if and when they do happen, right? and controlling how you respond to them. It's a hugely important part of competing. And if we look at athletes who are performing at the highest level, like at an Olympic final, you might have 8 lanes on a track, in a pool, or on a canoe kayak course. The athletes that are doing the best are the ones that aren't just physically strongest, because at that level, most of them are similar in their physical abilities, their mastery of their sports technique. But it's the ones that win, and the ones that often are showing up at these competitions as people that have won before. These are often the ones that are the strongest mentally, that have the best mental tools for competing, in a sport. Um, and they didn't just these skills are not necessarily innate. It's not something that we're born with. These people have had to work to develop these skills, and they've worked with mental performance specialists or coaches to help them. And so we're really excited at Paddle Monster. We've got a mental performance coach that's joined our team. She's wonderful. I know her well. Her name's Kirsty MacMillan, and she, a few years ago, worked to get a certification in this area, and she's put it into practice with athletes at a variety of levels, and has helped them really achieve some impressive results. Certainly improving their performance in each and every case. Um, she's taken people that have struggled performing when it matters most and helped them overcome the things that were compromising their ability to perform, and they've performed much better. And she can do the same thing for everyone in paddling as well. Um, so she's going to be introducing herself to you in the next few weeks in a series of videos, and she'll be sharing some information that will help you learn a little bit about what she does and how it can help an athlete. And then she'll also be working and providing consultations with athletes, working with athletes one-on-one who are interested in being the best that they can be. It's not enough, really, to just train hard, have good technique, be strong, be aerobically fit, have good technique, and go out and race and expect that you're going to perform, at a winning level. Um, as I said at the beginning, I really strongly believe in a no stones left unturned approach to being the best that you can possibly be. You've got to look at every possible aspect of your preparation. And a huge one is what goes on between your ears when you're competing, what you say to yourself, what you think to yourself, your ability to concentrate, your ability to focus, your ability to overcome distractions, your ability to overcome adversity. These are all types of things that are hugely important, and they make a tremendous difference. And the inability to do those things well can completely negate superior fitness, superior technique, superior strength. Um, on the other hand, if you're really strong mentally and you have a really sound, really robust mental approach that you've developed through lots of practice, lots of drills, lots of practice, but you've done that because you've learned from somebody who's an expert in this area. It really increases the chance of you performing to your full potential and being able to do that on a regular basis. So that's the value that we wanted to bring at Paddle Monster. We wanted to bring to athletes. That's why we've brought Kirsty aboard, and that's the type of thing that she is good at helping people with. So I think it's going to be really exciting. We're looking forward to working with her, and I'm really excited to see the content that she's going to be producing in the next little bit, and to see people have a chance to work with her. So I'll leave it at that. Happy paddling, happy training. I'll see you again soon, and exciting things ahead, so stay tuned.